grandson,
Yes.
Olympic champion, world champion, former world record holder. Just a quick question. How did you come up with this concept?
So the idea for Grand Slam track was born out of the idea that athletes in track every 4 years are some of the most popular people on the planet, but then in the 3 years in between that, nobody's really talking about track, nobody's really talking about these athletes. And so there's a real opportunity because these are some of the best athletes in the world. The sport is compelling and people love it during the Olympics, so why wouldn't people love it, in the years between? But you have to create a league where you have the best of the best athletes competing against one another. You have to have the storytelling where people get to know who they are. Now people know who Kenny is. Well, we're not taking credit for that. People knew who Kenny was before we signed him, right? But he has a platform now and the support, of Grand Slam track where he can come out here now and prove to the world that I'm not just the fastest person because I was in the Olympics last year. I'm winning races now against the best. That's what the sport needs. So that's why Grand Slam track needs to exist.
Race category, what motivated the setup of the categories?
Yeah, so the categories with the race distances, so our race groups as well as the 2-race format is what we felt like was going to bring out the best in the races, and I don't think people really understood it initially. Like I said, I don't like to brag, but I mean,
go ahead and brag, sir.
It's kind of working. It's kind of working. I mean, this is what you get. What I know, what people want, what fans want, whether they're the avid track fan or the casual track fan, they want to see races where it's coming down to the wire. Where coming down the home stretch, people get up on their feet because they don't know who's going to win that race, but they want to see it, right? So in order to create that, you got to have more than just, okay, we're coming in here, we're just going to run this race, which is compelling. Track is compelling, races are compelling. But this format produces the best from those athletes. And we saw that, in Kingston when, the men's short distance group, you got Emmanuel Wagnoni, the 800-meter Olympic champion, coming over and disrupting the 1,500-meter guys, So it brings out the best in the athletes, and it's just, we're so glad that the concept is working, and it's providing some of the most compelling races we've ever seen in or out of a championship.
And my last question is, the athletes are praising you. Is the Grand Slam track here to stay?
Absolutely. I mean, look, not only are the athletes praising us, and that's important, but the fans are saying, hey, this is what we wanted. This is what we wanted to see. We just sit in the middle as Grand Slam track of the athletes who want to compete, despite what anybody might say, oh, they don't want to compete against each other. They do want to compete against each other. We see them doing it now. They just needed somebody to set it up for them. So we sit in between them and the fans who want to see it. And our job is just stewards of this product to just make sure that it continues to be compelling, make sure we take care of the athletes, and make sure that we deliver to fans.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me here.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here.
Michael, Fabian Lyon from the Miami Herald and the Game Changers with Fabian Lyon podcast. Michael, can you talk about your role change from icon on the track and the responsibility that you felt to put this together, and why did this come together now?
Yeah, thank you for that question. It's something I've always wanted to do. I've always been passionate about this sport. I owe everything I have to track. I mean, I would not be standing here if it wasn't for this sport. So I've always felt a responsibility to give back to it, but I've always, as well, understood, just felt that this sport is not reaching its potential. It has amazing potential. It's not reaching its potential, and so I got to a point in my life where I had the time and the resources and the ability to actually invest back in this sport and try to actually, help it to reach its potential. So, it was, and I couldn't be happier doing it. It's very rewarding to see what I was just saying, athletes and fans, saying, hey, this is what we wanted, this is what the sport needs.
But Michael, what kind of expectations did you have when you put this all together? Do you have anything that this is how it's supposed to look, or was it kind of a fluid thought process for you and your team?
I mean, the building of it was a fluid process, but the vision was always exactly what we saw out here over the last 3 days. Athletes putting on amazing performances and fans absolutely loving it.
Thank you.
Michael, just, from Kingston to Miami, different venue, different city, but I wonder some initial reactions on some things that you might have changed, from Kingston to Miami and how they might have gone and how you felt about it.
Yeah, there are little things that we changed, nothing major that we really changed. But there are things that we took from Kingston that we're sort of holding. There are things we'll take from here that we're holding and thinking, should we change that? Should we make some adjustments? We will continue to change things because we have to continue to iterate on the product. It's just a matter of, do we do that after a slam, or do we give it another slam to see if that's really something that needs changing? Or do we actually even wait till after the season is over? So, we're just sort of trying to be smart about this in terms of how we go about it. There are some things that, we sort of thought about maybe, maybe we should change this after Kingston. We decided, let's stick with it. And then we got here and actually it works. It just didn't work in Kingston, So there's a lot of components to this, and we just need to be smart about, how we continue to build.
And I wonder, even though it's the first season, only the second slam, if you kind of do look forward to 2026, coming off these first two, okay, wow, now I'm seeing even more long-term success and sustainability here.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just like track, there's always a danger in getting ahead of yourself. You try to tell yourself not to. When it's there's a world championship year and you're looking towards the Olympics, that's next year. You can't be thinking about that. But you're but that's motivating me right now, right? It's the same thing here. I'm trying to not get ahead of myself, but I am thinking about things that in 2026 we'll be in better position to change, things we can take advantage of, but then I'm quickly reminded that, oh, wait a minute, the next slam is actually a month from now, right? So it's a quick turnaround for us. And so we have to just, right now, we literally start focusing on Philadelphia today, right?
Obviously, we talk about change, but the business side of it too, obviously, from what I've been hearing is that, they're open to more locations. From the athletes are saying that. I don't know if you've been getting feedback from them, or have you guys maybe considered growing more than 4 locations?
Our business model is that we will ultimately be in more than 4 locations. We're not going to stick to 4. We will grow this. There will be more cities. It's just a matter of when we decide it's time to expand into more cities and what's the best cities for us to expand into. The good thing is we do have cities reaching out to us saying, hey, we'd be interested in being a Grand Slam track host city. But yeah, we have to make sure that we're just making those decisions smartly.
Yeah.
But absolutely, we will grow beyond 4 cities. This will not just be 4.
For the weekend to start the way it did with what Messiah and Tia did in the 100 hurdles, we saw the video of you and Kyle celebrating. But how exciting was that moment for you with, an American record performance happening at Grand Slam?
Yeah, and I will say this, it's when you put the best athletes together. Tia and Messiah both went under the previous American record. You're going to get those kind of performances, and so it was one of those things for us, just in that moment. Kyle and I have been talking about this for so long, and it wasn't even a thing. This didn't become real until Kingston, right? And so Kingston was great, and then we came in here excited because we knew that we're going to see even more and even better, right? And for the first race out to be exactly what we thought we were going to see, which is amazing competition, coming down to the wire, photo finishes, and American record type times. It was just we knew we were right, but now everybody knows we were right.
How special has it been in Miami, particularly, to see athletes competing in events that perhaps they're not quite used to, like Anna Hall, for example, this weekend?
Yeah, Anna's a great story. And we've had some amazing stories already only in our second slam. We got, we got Walmart workers, we got, UPS delivery, truck loading people, winning $50,000 and changing their life. It's great. And then you got, Anna Hall coming over, even thinking herself I'm not sure how I'm going to do here, but I'm happy to be here. And it was really cool for her after seeing in Kingston saying, hey, I got FOMO. We're like, okay, well, come on. She gets here and has an unbelievable performance. In fact, that's just the caliber of athlete she is. And again, I'm going to keep saying it, you're going to keep hearing me say it. She's one of the best in the world. You put the best against the best, you're going to get amazing performances, and that's what we got from her.
I saw you tweeted about Ja'Cory and just kind of his story and everything there. What did you kind of think about that and how it fits into the framework of what Grand Slam's trying to accomplish?
I mean, this is exactly one of the reasons. I mean, there are many reasons, but they all come back to one thing, and that is that this sport is amazing. It has amazing athletes, and the sport has been underappreciated, undermonetized, undervalued, and it's underperforming. And who are the victims of that? The athletes. So here you got a world-class athlete, one of the best in the world, running 43 seconds in the 400. It's not easy to do. Not a lot of people can say they can do that. And he's loading trucks, going to work at 4 a.m.
Yep.
That's insane. And so then an athlete like that, how many athletes over the last 30 years have decided it's not worth it? I need to go feed my family. I need to go make a living. And I don't want to wake up one day having poured 5-10 years into this and end up regretting it because I never was able to make an Olympic team or world championship team, because it's the only way you really truly can make any money. And you know, you got to go and get a medal in order to be able to actually be able to make money. Even sometimes that, if you get an injury, contract's gone, right? So that's just not right. So that's why Grand Slam track exists, to elevate the sport. And when you elevate the sport, you elevate all of the athletes, regardless of what level they're at. Somebody's gonna say, yeah, but you're giving the money to all of the people who already, deserve it. People are saying are already making money. People said that. Jacory wasn't making any money. He was working at UPS. Dylan's working at Walmart, right? These guys are now making money. So it's not just the people at the top, but you need the people at the top. They're the ones that could be, nobody, look, I'm gonna be completely honest. Nobody came here to see Jacory. Now they will. They didn't come here to see Jacory. If we didn't have Sydney, if we didn't have Kenny, if we didn't have Gabby, if we didn't have them, nobody's coming, right? They come, they see them. Now they see Jacory. They see those athletes, and they're like, oh, this guy. Now they know his story. So now you're gonna have other people like, oh, I work at UPS. That's my guy, right? Right? I mean, so that's what we're doing.
So Michael, listen, 96 Jamaicans liked you. When you went on BBC, Jamaicans loved you. Now, of course, you chose Kingston. We fell in love with you. Now, I know Kingston wasn't perfect on the Grand Slam tour, but listen, please tell me we're going to continue using Kingston from here on in.
Look, you know what? We're gonna sit down at the end of the season and determine, like I said before, where we need to be, and continue to grow this, to continue to grow Grand Slam track. And we're going to try to be smart about making those decisions, but we're not going to make any of those decisions right now. We've got to continue to get through this. Like I said, we got 2 more slams, and we'll determine at the end of the season, where we go next. But also, like I said, we're going to grow beyond 4. We may grow next year. We may stay at 4 next year. We may change some cities. We may stay at all of the same cities. We'll see.
Michael, just
3 more questions, guys.
Michael, just you're literally hands-on. You're not just watching. You're in the crowds, walking around, talking to the athletes. What does that mean to you? This is only the second stop, but you're really, literally, again, among the crowds with the athletes.
I would rather be nowhere else. You can't keep me out of the crowd. You can't keep me off the track with the athletes. I mean, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm here. But also, those 2 groups, the athletes and the fans, that's our constituency. That's who we serve. We serve the athletes, we serve the fans. So I want to hear what they have to say. I want to hear what they want, what they don't like, what they do like. And that's time for me to go. It's time to go. That's my cue right there. I have to move on.
You're black ass.